Hi, my name's Kevin Kelly. I'm the head of advocacy with NCBI. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been bringing you a series of interviews with people who are blind and vision impaired, both from here at home and abroad. And today we thought we would focus on something that has really been in the headlines over the last number of weeks during the COVID-19 health emergency. And that is what is going to happen with the Leaving Cert. And there have been a number of suggested plans, and some of those have received muted reactions from students. So here in NCBI, along with our children's team, we felt we would check in with a number of our Leaving Cert service users to find out their experiences of what it's like to study for the exams at the moment with all the uncertainty. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Caitlin Heffernan, who is a Leaving Cert student from Nina in Tipperary. Caitlin, you're very welcome.
Thanks.
Caitlin, so tell us a little about yourself.
So yeah, I'm doing well. I'm going to be doing my Leaving Cert this year, and yeah, afterwards I kind of want to go to UL and study languages. So
Yeah, yeah. And how have you found things since your school closed down?
well, at the start it was all right because we were thought it was only going to be for we were told by school that it was only going to be for 2 weeks, so we were like, oh, that'll be okay, it'll just be like a bit of extra time to study. But it's I found it quite stressful, to be honest, like, because it's just um yeah, I don't know, I kind of yeah, I did find it quite stressful, not just um like, because we're just it's kind of hard. I find it hard to like study at home because it's kind of distracting. I get kind of easily distracted anyway, but I don't know, I find it yeah, I did find it quite hard to get motivated and study at home. But then as well, it's not too bad because like the teachers are constantly checking up and they're like giving us work to do, and you still have like deadlines to get the work in by. And like I have like all my books, so I didn't have to worry actually when the last day that we were in school and everyone was like running around like bringing boxes of books home. It wasn't as bad for me because I have it all on my laptop, like all the books. So like we have like two maths books and like the big geography book, and I have all them on my laptop, so I didn't have to think about carrying them home. And like the exam papers, I was like, oh well, I don't have to bring home some of them now because I can get them online. So that in that way, it actually, I think it was easier for me compared to some of my friends who had to like bring home these big boxes of books and like empty out their lockers. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's quite interesting because I think a lot of people will automatically look at the negatives for students who are blind or vision impaired or who have special needs. But it's interesting what you say that you didn't have to bring home physical items and books, and your materials were available electronically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you were you able to concentrate and begin to get your head down at your books with all of the uncertainty in the media with where the exam is going to go ahead, when were they going to go ahead, and all of that?
Well, I didn't really think about it be like the first 2 weeks because we were like, I wasn't really thinking about the actual exams that were meant to be happening in June in the first 2 weeks because we were like, oh, what about the orals? Because they were like, oh, you might come in and do them or you might not, and then they just cancelled those, so that wasn't too bad. But then afterwards, I was kind of like, um, I just wanted to know like what's going on, and then because they were like, oh, they'll be happening in June definitely, and I was like, oh, I don't know, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, like I was kind of stressing then a bit. But then they were like, oh, they will move them. So then that made it a lot easier for me, and I was like, oh, that's okay now. I don't have to be worrying about that. I've got a bit longer now to study and like get stuff done. So yeah, I don't mind it being later now.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of extra time. In a way, given that you were saying at the start of the interview that you're hoping to study that languages, you were probably looking forward to the orals, were you?
yeah, I was kind of like, I don't know, because I don't mind like speaking them, and I actually kind of, yeah, I don't know, I do kind of enjoy it. So I was kind of like, oh, but I don't mind then as well getting full marks. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And no, that's a blessing. If only that was available the year that I did the leaving cert, because my French pronunciation was quite shocking, and I kind of pronounced my words a little bit like Jaws, my screen reader. So, which was of great amusement to my French teacher. What subjects, what languages rather, do you study?
Well, I do Irish and French. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And do you prefer French over Irish, or?
Um, well, I don't know. I kind of liked Irish, well, in junior cert because I do pass Irish. So I always found in junior cert that it was actually we actually learned kind of well, like we would learn different words and stuff. Like it wasn't all about learning off essays and things like that. Like we were actually speaking Irish. So I actually enjoyed it then. And then like for leaving cert, it's not too bad as well because I don't know, I kind of like Irish. I don't know. I never thought I would. I was used to hate it and like I don't know, but I was kind of thinking about it and I was like, I wouldn't want to study it after school, but I actually don't mind it in school. I don't know. I find it, yeah, it's not too, I don't find it that hard. So I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. Yeah. I think that makes it easier to like go into Irish than like when I actually kind of enjoy it. But yeah, I don't know.
Very good. And at the moment, are you accessing your classes online?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they got because I don't know, a lot of the teachers they've set up, they use Google Classroom, and then they can put up like little the like my music teacher, he'll record himself like going through the lesson, and then he puts that up, um and yeah, and they all like they put up the like stuff, the work that they want us to do, and then they can set it as like a deadline, which I actually, I don't know, that makes it easier for me rather than them just saying, oh, like do it for whenever, like when they have a certain deadline. I don't know, I kind of, yeah, that makes it easier. But yeah, they can like put up the files, so then it's not just a big long, like they don't have to type out a big message, and it's easier to understand when you can hear them saying it. So like as well, yeah, for maths as well, my teacher was she put up the PowerPoint, but she done like a voiceover on it. So then she was explaining it as well. So yeah, yeah, and then some of them they use Zoom, and we do like video calls, and like for biology, the yeah, she'll go through it, and we do Zoom calls, and then I think like twice a week. Um, yeah, so then she'll go through a chapter, and then we'll do questions, so it makes it easier then, like we're not missing out on classes.
Very good. So it sounds as if you have your hands full with all different platforms and subjects and classes. And by the sounds of it, some of your teachers are doing lots of innovative things to help you. So just from speaking to you, you're quite optimistic about the exams in July, and you're going to use this extra time to study.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think it'll be hard to keep the motivation up over the next 2 months?
Um, yeah, I think it kind of will be, but one of our teachers was like, "Oh, it's fine. You can take June off." I was like, "No." I wouldn't be able to do that, even though the teachers are kind of saying, "Oh, like for Easter, they were like, oh, take a week off," and I was like, I don't know, I personally wouldn't be able to do that, just like take a week off and not do anything, because afterwards I feel so bad, and then I don't know. I think as well, like I find it hard if I take like a week off, I find it hard to get back into it. So I'd rather just do, even if I didn't do as much every day, I'd rather still do a bit every day so that it's like keeps going and that I'm still doing something. So I don't feel as bad if I don't, if I don't do as much, but then I'm like, oh, I've still done something.
Yeah, it's always in the back of your mind. It can be very difficult to switch off because you're working towards this date. And as I was saying to you before we came on air, when we were talking there, because I was talking to yourself and another Leaving Cert student recently there the other night, I had the old Leaving Cert dream, even though it was 12 years since I did it. So the Leaving Cert is one of the most significant things that you will do. So it can be quite difficult to switch off.
Yeah. But well, yeah, usually then I just kind of, like, after a day, I'll just be studying all day. And then in the evening, sometimes I'll just, to kind of not think about studying, I'll just, I like to do a bit of baking actually. Like, I'll make cakes and buns and bread and stuff. I don't know, because I kind of just enjoy it. Even if I don't like what I'm making, I just kind of enjoy, like, making things. Like, I like doing cooking, and I don't know. Yeah, I kind of enjoy that because it's like nothing to do. It's like nothing to do with school, so it's kind of something completely different. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your release, and that's how you relax and switch off. No, it's great to have that and know what it is. And at the moment, I'm sure your family are quite delighted with all of your baking.
Yeah. Yeah. My brother was always like, "Oh, is there any? Did you make anything today?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he'll go and eat it all. But
I think the bird there in the background is chirping, so we'll bring our chat to conclusion. It was really great chatting to you, Caitlin, and we wish you all the best with the exams. And we might check in with you again in a few weeks to see how you're doing as the exams become closer.
yeah.
That was me, Kevin Kelly, in conversation with Caitlin Heffernan, a Leaving Cert student from Nina in Tipperary. Don't forget, you can check out ncbi.ie and all of our social media for all of the latest news during COVID-19. And also our national helpline is available on 1850 33 43 53.